literally Fur's greatest podcast in the entire universe. Yeah, man. Oh, we're cool. Okay. Sorry. So, we have a few guests. We have a fox, a mutt, a fox. Yeah, we got 2 foxes and a kangaroo and me. So, it's a beautiful, beautiful bunch. We have Cody the Fox, Kobu the Mutt, Kit Fox, and Thaddius the Kangaroo, and me, Khord Kitty. So let's go to introducing each other. Cody the Fox.
Hey, I'm not really sure what to say, but hey, I'm Cody. I'm 19, gonna be 20 this August, and I'm a huge gaming nerd.
Yay! And I'm Khord Kitty. I'm an actor. I live in New York, and I also like to purr, hiss, murr, and I use Skype a lot, and sometimes I sing. Kit Fox.
Hello, yes, I'm Kit. I am the fox that nobody knows. Not even my Fur Affinity uses his name. But I'm just a 21-year-old living in Florida. I play music, take a lot of photos, need to do more of that, and mostly just waste my life on World of Warcraft.
Oh, Mer, what are you going to be taking photos of? Oh, I wonder.
Well, you gonna pay me? I'll take pictures of anything you want.
Oh, take a picture of my CPU. My CPU!
Oh, yeah.
Also called Sipu. And we're going back to Kobu the Mutt.
Hello. How's it going? I guess my name's Kobu Mutt, 22, live in Nevada, work at Best Buy, so I do technology. And I've got various hobbies, which I'm sure you'll find out about.
Does Best Buy really have the Best Buy, or does Walmart have the Best Buy?
We have different kinds.
You're fired! I mean, cool. Thaddius the Kangaroo, tell us about you.
What's up? I'm Thaddius the Kangaroo, and I live in Illinois. I'm 24. I'm a musician, and I work at a gas station for now.
What do you play?
I play guitar, I sing, I do piano, do whatever really. Really depends on what's going on.
You sound kind of like a baritone. I'm guessing kind of baritone bass.
I don't know. I just kind of go with what I'm playing.
Cool. Well, awesome. Now, let's get to our topics. I'm just going to go straight on to Kobu's topic of music, since music is kind of, yeah, it's a good transition, I think. Music!
Yes, I see, alright.
Kobu, tell us about music. What's on your mind about music, other than Miley Cyrus?
Certainly not Miley Cyrus.
Thank goodness.
Let me see. Well, I figured we could just talk about what kinds of music we were into and why we like our kinds of music, because I don't think enough people distinguish why we like what we like.
Well, I like to go in the fields and graze on the sheep and all the horses and cow. Sorry, Thaddeus was getting me in the mood. Music-wise, me personally, I kind of like pop music. I mean, most pop music, most of the top 40 is kind of like crappy stuff. Like, oh yeah, let's try to make this to appeal to the masses. Just shake asses and stuff and have hooks. But stop it! Stop it! We're not gonna have any music playing while we're talking about music. Ah!
Hey, we all love natural harmonics, but
Not that much. Yeah, so I kind of like pop music a lot. I also like comedy music. Funny shit stuff like I think Weird Al's funny, but also original musicians. David Lynch is silly. Jack Black silly too, but I kind of like more darker musicians. I guess you could say that Lynch is pretty dark, but yeah, I like basically pop and comedy mainly. But I could get into dubstep if it's just Skrillex, or if it's anyone else. I don't give a crap.
Fair enough. Let's see. Let's go around. Let's see who else. Anybody else have opinions on music? I mean, if you don't, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. You're kind of in a. Maybe you're from like Iran or something, or one of those countries that ban music.
Even they have music tastes. It's just all religious.
Yep. It's really everywhere. Well, I'm not picky really at all with music. Especially until recently, I would always just say the one thing I cannot stand is dubstep, but even I've been proven wrong, because the music on that new Metal Gear game blew me away. So
Yeah, I think the big problem with a lot of dubsteps is they don't have any melody. They're just kind of like, oh, let's see how many freaky sounds we could stick into one
Wub, wub,
place.
wub, wub,
Yeah.
wub.
Look,
Pretty
I've
much,
got
yeah.
wub wub wub. I'm cool. Yay!
Yeah, I'm gonna even just say their name. It's like Maniac. They're Maniac Agenda. They pretty much mixed in hard rock and metal with hints of dubstep, maybe a bit of a solo of it, and they just harmonize well together, surprisingly enough, and I end up loving it. Other than that, I'm not really very picky. It just depends on my mood. But the thing I disrespect is when people don't love what they work with, and you can really, really tell who loves their music and who doesn't.
Weird. You're saying there's some people that make music and they hate their own music?
What? Oh, no, they love money, not music.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Justin
yeah.
Bieber.
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely hear how little he loves his music and his work, and I'm not even gonna call it work.
They call me Justin Bieber.
If you guys have ever listened to Morning Teleportation, you can hear just how much fun they're having making that album.
Oh yeah.
Called Expanding Anyway, and you could just tell. By the way, I set up push to talk, but it didn't set up, so I was playing earlier and I didn't know.
Whatever.
If you actually got it, did you use the checkbox? Well,
Yeah, I
we'll deal
did,
with it
and
later.
it would just bring up the keys, and then I would select the key, and it was just weird.
Uh,
But
Yeah, we're using we're recording on Skype. I tested like 8 different programs trying to get one that works. Like, because I paid for Pamela Pro and it stopped working. And where's that buzzing sound? Thaddius. Ah! Mute.
it's the
Mute.
fan.
Mute.
Push to talk
Yeah.
turns your voice on when you're on mute.
It's
I will
way
not
on.
be silenced!
Alright, so I'm using free call recorder for Skype, and it works just fine. It just makes my voice a little softer than normal. Yay! Thaddeus?
I love music. Music is very much a big part of my life.
I feel ya.
And I mean, recently, everyone calls me a hipster, so just warning you. Like lately, it's been a lot of folk punk and like indie stuff and just like weird stuff. Just like I found this artist who's like sadder than Bright Eyes because I didn't know that was possible, and like I've almost cried myself to sleep listening to it before. It's like you're so sad, but I love your stuff. It's so beautiful.
Who is this?
His artist name is Flat Sound. It's all one word, and it's gorgeous. It's really just gorgeous, but it's really, really, really sad. Like, be prepared to have super sad times if you listen to it.
Have you heard of Magical Clouds?
No, I haven't actually.
They're a pretty big band last year, and they've got one of my favorite albums this year. I definitely, if you like stuff similar to Bright Eyes, I would definitely recommend Magical Clouds out. They're a little bit better in my opinion.
A lot of what I've been listening to lately is like Andrew Jackson Jihad, and they are a big like folk punk band. So I don't know how big they are, but they're super, super awesome, and they're really cool dudes. So really been into them lately. And that Morning Teleportation album, which is just seriously just a good like sit back and feel good album. I go on and on about music, so I'll stop.
I understand. I'm the same way. I had to really hold back.
Yeah. No, we got time. We've only recorded 9 minutes.
I mean, I'm sitting here doing music theory work, so.
Oh, like what give me an example of one of your questions.
Well, I'm supposed to write 4-part root positioning stuff, so.
That's pretty easy, actually.
Oh, yeah,
your
it's-
base at the bottom.
It's theory 1, yeah, but it's getting. Oh, it's not bass at the bottom. I'm writing tenor and alto parts.
Well, yeah, but like if it's
Oh.
if it's all in root position, then the bass.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's all root position.
So cool! Yay! Music theory, the funnest in the world.
Hooray!
Rad dude. That was actually my major. I'm a music composition major, so I got to do all that fun stuff. Yay!
Yeah, I'm a music major too. It's so much fun. I love it.
We
And
get
I'm-
to make music.
Hooray! I'm even more just totally stoked because I got my piano fixed and it sounds so wonderful. I love this piano.
For me, what I would try to do in making music is testing VSTs. Now, if you don't know what a VST is, it is basically a free virtual instrument that you put into a program, and a particular group of programs could, like most of the main music programs could use them, like FL Studio, Pro Tools, but not Audacity or something like that. But I use
Yeah, no,
Sibelius.
I have a writing software, MuseScore, and I can virtually write little instrument pieces with it.
Oh, and what I was saying was, with the VSTs, I like to test them and then record my test of them, so I hear how all the sounds that the VST could make. So I would always use my stereo mix to record it, but on my new computer, stereo mix doesn't work. So just last week, I downloaded this program called Audio Record Wizard, and I could record off of the speakers now. Yay!
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, VSTs, I don't know anyone who knows about VSTs for some reason, but they are like the most cool thing in the world because they're free, most of them, and they make just about any instrument you could imagine, like 8-bit, just weird ambient noises, like anything you want. Sirens, dogs, whatever.
Yeah, when I write just at home, I'll just mess around, maybe come up with a simple piece on my piano, and then I'll pull out my guitar and add a little bit to it, and pull out my violin and screech my way to victory.
Yeah, that's one sort of weakness of VSTs is sometimes you'll see a lot of weak imitation piano sounds, imitation guitar sounds, but every once in a while you hear something nice.
Yeah.
I have a tape recorder sitting around that I've been recording on, and it just gives me this really cool, just washed out sound.
That's great. One thing I think about is there's this thing called a VST called AdSynth 4, and anytime you play some sort of creepy video game where it has that weird ambient sounds, like I swear it's all from that one program.
Oh, like Lavender Town music? No, that's so old. Never mind. You're thinking I'm talking about newer ones.
That's like
Silent
I
Hill.
thought you were going somewhere completely else with
I'm
it.
talking like Silent Hill or
Yeah.
just anything.
I thought you were going somewhere else. That's
Well,
my fault.
I found this tape recorder in the basement. I was just like, I'm gonna use this, and it's got this wonderfully just like washed out sound. And I want to just record different parts of instruments on it and use them. I think, just if I'm going for that kind of sound in a certain part of a song or whatever. But I don't know.
I'm kind of like Kid. I'm open to pretty much anything. Lately, I've been getting more into My Little Pony created music, I guess, from the fans and all that. So,
Have you
Sorry.
have you run
Yeah.
into Ponyphonic?
no, I have not.
How about the Aviators?
I've heard of the Aviators. I actually have one of their songs on my phone.
Yeah, I do like the Aviators. I don't really watch any of it now, but I do stick around with a lot of the music because the fan-made music is really good.
I have to say, though, out of all of the people I've listened to, my favorites are definitely The Living Tombstone, The Wooden Toaster, and Mondo Pony.
I do know Mondo. I do like Mondo.
What about DJ Pretty Pony?
Never heard of him.
Yeah, that's because I made it up.
No, don't. I'm sure there's someone out there.
Well, maybe we just
You just gave somebody an idea.
Oh, boy.
No, you just gave someone hype.
Pretty pony.
Yeah, I'm not a My Little Pony fan necessarily. Like I've actually tried to go like, okay, maybe there's something good about it, and I would listen to it because so many furries are like, oh, it's the greatest thing ever, and I can't get into it. I just can't.
I mean, it's okay. I'm gonna say it now. Outside of season 3, it is pretty well written. I love Lauren Faust, so I got into it pretty easily. I was a big Powerpuff Girls fan. I was big into pretty much anything else she's made.
I'd say yeah, that's
But-
kind of like a precursor to it. I mean, Powerpuff Girls was great.
I adored season 1. I loved season 2. Season 3 just ruined it for me, and I've seen a couple of season 4, but I just have not been able to get back into it.
Season 4 went downhill on so many things. I mean, there's some good episodes, but it's just cliche after obvious cliche after I can see that 1,000 miles away.
But then again, a children's show with cliches, it's like stop the presses. That's
Well,
the idea. They're trying
I mean,
to
if you
teach
put it
more.
up against especially season 1, like those were brilliantly written in all opinion. It just went down after season 2. Got so bad.
This is exactly what happens when I add a bunch of Trekkies into a call. They all eventually start talking about Star Trek. It's like it's unavoidable. Yeah, it's like Starfleet 5 wasn't as good as 4. And I don't know about that.
Picard can kick so-and-so's ass.
If there's a fight between Captain Picard and man, that's like literally the only name I know from the whole series. That's how dumb I am with Star Trek.
Star Trek fans, I apologize.
In terms of My Little Pony, no, I'm way more of an Adventure Time guy. Adventure Time's where it's at.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Adventure Time's pretty good.
I think it's fine. I don't laugh at it, but my brother likes it.
I don't really go out of my way for it, but if like the TV's just on because I can't stand not having sound hitting me, and it's on, I might just watch a little bit of it. But
like the closest I'll come to watching that is maybe watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force because it's like kind of awkward, weird humor.
Adventure Time's where it's at.
Awesome.
It's where something's at eventually.
Has anyone ever watched China, Illinois?
Yes.
that show's
I love that show. I love it.
China, Illinois.
China, Illinois, China, Illinois. That's such a good show.
I don't know.
Diary.
I canceled my cable last January because I'm like, hey, you could find it on the computer.
Yeah, I was actually about to do that. I was about to get rid of Cox. They have terrible, terrible service. And
Get rid of what?
Cox Cable.
Cox
Yeah,
Cable? That's
Yeah.
real? Oh my god!
COX.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
it's real. They're pretty bad. But, we started searching, and I know they're, like, hunting through our logs or something because they, like, boosted our service twice and gave us a modem that we were supposed to pay $7 a month for free, so... But we were going to go to AT&T and just kill cable and just run full internet, and our box was full, so we couldn't.
So
you couldn't work with Cox because your box was full?
I couldn't work with AT&T because the box was full.
Sorry, I'm trying to make some sort of joke out of this, but I probably should.
there's so
I'm
many
sure they've all
jokes.
been made.
There's so many jokes.
All right, I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you.
Okay, do it.
Some Cox are good, but these Cox are terrible.
All right, that was a good joke.
The joke is in the fact that a fox says Cox Cable. I mean,
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go.
The joke speaks for itself.
Fox uses Cox and whatever. Yeah.
I get screwed over by Cox every day.
Oh man.
Actually, there was these two roads that I used to live by. One was called Johnson Avenue, and one was called Cox. And so,
Oh my God,
There
the corner
was-
of Cox and Johnson. That's
yes,
brilliant.
I've seen it. It's real. And Johnson, that was where my high school was at, actually.
Oh,
You go down on Johnson.
Oh man.
dear. Memories. So I think we've exhausted music. Photography.
oh God.
Kit, yeah, you said something about photography. You like photography, and that's.
Oh yeah, I love it. I'm not really much of a digital, but maybe it's because I just don't have a really good one, or
So
one that it's worth using, and I don't know how to use Shop, and don't want to learn how to do it with GIMP. But it feels really good to just take some photos and just go into a photo lab and print them out by hand and watch them come to life.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, don't you have to buy something from Kodak, and they already bankrupted?
Oh, there's plenty of other brands. Kodak isn't really much of anything anywhere. I have my own camera. It's pretty old, but I love it.
I was born in Rochester and then moved out of Rochester when I was really young, and Kodak was from there. And from what I heard, both Rochester and Kodak are like going down, like real down.
Oh yeah, they really are. And it's really sad. The lab at my college, I don't know how much time it really has left before those black and white photo classes are canceled, because it really is fun just standing in the dark room.
It's like with Martin Scorsese. He likes using the sort of old technology because there's some sort of nostalgia, appeal, something to it that some people who, all you new little kids, whatever, didn't really get before. Varmints!
I think a lot of the appeal with developing your own pictures is there's a lot more work involved than just taking a picture and uploading it.
Oh yeah.
You're putting your heart into like what you're doing, and that's actually part of like going back a little bit. That's part of why I love playing and making music. But,
See, I have no
Yeah,
heart.
same.
I'm just relating. I'm relating things here. So
I'm taking my iPhone and I want to press one button and that's it. Boom, done. Selfie finished. No art involved.
Pro level iPhone achieved.
Yeah, and for me, I was in Illinois for visiting the family for Christmas and whatnot, and I sat in the car with it off for about 30 minutes to get a picture of a snowflake up close with my new phone. Taking photos is just one of those things. Even though music is my true passion, photos is my happy little go-to as well.
Illinois has had a lot of that snow stuff this year.
Oh yeah, just like 2 weeks ago, it was randomly snowing, and it was like I think the first snow day of the year, and I went out and I was like, "Dang, this is cool!" And I took out my camera phone, taking pictures of snow and shit, and I was like, "Wow!" Because I'm from California, where like there's no snow anywhere unless you go on a mountain.
Snow doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking with my grandmother out there, and they got just blasted with snow the other day. It was pretty crazy. I forgot how much, but it was a huge amount.
We got like 5 inches over here, and we're supposed to get it. Snow's gonna hit us again Monday, and then Saturday is supposed to be just as worse as this week was, and it's like no more.
I like the snow, but I hate driving in it.
Yeah, I love the snow. I miss it so much. I haven't
driving in it is not something I'm really into though.
Oh,
I'm not about that. The struggle is real when you're driving in snow.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
I think the worst snow. I mean, I don't drive, so I just walk because New York City, you take the subway, whatever. But when I walk around the snow, I hope it doesn't turn into that sort of slushy snow where everything's like kind of a half puddle, like just a really cold puddle.
And then it slides in your shoe and freezes your foot.
Yeah, like
then you just wet socks will ruin anyone's day. I think.
I
Wet
agree.
Socks are just like a day ruiner.
Yeah,
it's the worst feeling in the world.
On the way home, I was walking through the street. I didn't notice any puddle. Like, it just sort of blended in, and I went right into it. It was a gigantic one. Like, every single corner was a puddle. I was like, dang, this is not fun at all.
And then you're sloshing your way home.
Yeah, it was very sloshy. I felt like every single step was a Slurpee.
I mean, if you're a cat, you probably hate water anyway, so...
Right.
Yeah. I think we were talking about photography at some point.
Yeah.
We went to snow somehow.
It's something like that, I'm sure.
Photography, I was never really into very much. My mother actually she would take photographs of thoroughbreds, and she got some pictures of in the thoroughbred time. So she would take horse race pictures all the time. That was her thing. For me, I liked using the camera. So videography, making angles. I would go to like just these normal events, like where my brother or sister would be performing on stage, and I would try to get crazy with the angles and shit. It'd be fun.
I always thought that messing around with a film camera would be pretty fun and developing the pictures, because
it is. It's a lot of work to take it, and it's a lot of work to print it, and it just feels so rewarding.
Well, yeah, and you're putting a lot of work into it, so you're gonna be a lot more happy with the end product.
For me, the less work I put into it, the more happy I am with the end product. I'm like, this was easy, man. Cool.
Well, some of it, yeah, I can see that too. But I mean, I'm talking about like with a picture, you take a picture, it's going to be really good, and then you develop the film. You also have the physical aspect. Like photography, I think it's a different sort of work.
I mean, when I see video, I'm like, hey, that's like 1 billion pictures, and all of them are awesome.
Yeah, I'm not really a person that's proud. I tend to be soft-spoken and shy and whatnot, but photos are the one thing that I do want to put out there. I do post my photos online under a different persona, but that's different. That's personal.
I posted a couple of music things I did on FA, but I don't know.
That would be a good transition into music. Oh no, we already did music. Damn it! No, fail.
There's images and music and gaming.
Oh yeah, gaming. Thaddius, tell us about gaming.
What do you want to know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Val doesn't know how to count to 3.
Well, I was just recently playing Mass Effect. It's one of my favorite game series. I botched the ending of 3 at first, which I don't even want to get into that. That's another discussion.
Yeah, that's a forum killer. We don't need to bring that one up.
That's totally a forum killer. I'm a pretty big gamer. I play a lot of games, honestly. It's pretty varied. I treat my games like I treat my movies and my books. If it has a subject or a topic that'll interest me, or if, I'll just pick up the case and read the back of it, be like, oh, well, this seems like a cool concept, or that seems interesting, and then I'll try it. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, then I don't. So,
Thaddius, tell me, what is your opinion on Pikmin?
On Pigman?
Pikmin.
Oh, Pikmin? I love Pikmin.
Oh, good. You are the right type of gamer. That is my favorite game, too.
Pikmin was a good game. I didn't play much of it, but I know it was a great game.
I've never touched a Pikmin game, and a lot of friends say I have no childhood for that.
It is really good.
My best friend and I, he's not a furry, my best friend and I, we play the bingo on Pikmin 3, and it is just loads and loads and loads and loads of fun. So,
And,
I mean, I definitely recommend if you get the opportunity to play Pikmin 3 and with somebody, try the bingo game. It's really fun.
for some reason, with a lot of these Japanese games, I find these really disturbing allegories. Like, for example, you got Pokemon, which is kind of an allegory to dog fighting.
Yeah.
And then Pikmin is more of an allegory to like countries that are taking their men to fight wars and then like them dying, but it's in such a cute little package. You can't possibly blame it.
Katamari is actually an allegory to consumerism.
Wow,
and
that's deep.
And the want of like someone who's like got things, like wants so much more things.
And to anyone who doesn't know what that is, you start out with a ball that sticks to these little things, and eventually it sticks to bigger and bigger things till you have this ball with a whole bunch of objects stuck to it, just going through cities, sucking up buildings, and it's fun.
And it has arguably one of the catchiest songs in video games ever.
Well, the entire soundtrack is just awesome.
Yeah.
But I think one of the reasons that is because for Japanese, that sounds racist. Japanese people like that culture. Video games are also art at the same time as they are entertainment.
Yeah. Unlike Apple. Whoa, controversy.
They integrate their art with their entertainment, and I think that's why a lot of the allegories pop up in their video games.
When I think art video games, I automatically think flowers. There's this one company that made these 3 video games. Like, one of them was flowers, one of them, you're this microscopic organisms going through these levels trying to eat up smaller ones. And they're just kind of... And there's this one where you're this guy with this kind of weird dress thing, and all you're doing is you're jumping around this gigantic... Oh my god, that background noise, holy crap. Thaddius, is that you?
Yes.
Mute Thaddius. So I was saying something about you're in a desert and you're jumping around. And like you got to figure out with the petals of the flower game. They don't tell you anything about the controls or anything. You just figure it out for yourself. And the whole object of the game is to like fly over a bunch of petals. And it's like, whoa, this is so trippy.
That is actually a calm game. It looks beautiful on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, I encouraged my brother to get it, and he got it. And he was frustrated at first. He's like, "What are you supposed to do?" And then suddenly it's like, "Oh, amazing!"
Exactly.
It kinda
It's
sounds
not
like...
even a game you need to play to be like, I need to beat this. It's just one of those beautiful, calming, relaxing games. It's amazing.
It sounds like you go to a really abstract place when you think of like art integrated with video games, though.
Well,
Yeah.
Like, you think of abstract things. And that's totally understandable. Some games do have a really abstract point of view and point of, like, artistic sort of viewpoint, I guess. But...
oh yeah, and you once again, you can tell who loves it and who doesn't. Because there's just these great games like Electronic Super Joy and just so many others with just the best stuff ever. I
kind of disagree with that assessment that you could tell who of the people who are making the games making the games.
I guess for games, it's not as obvious though.
I mean, but I don't think there are people who go out, put all the effort into making a game, and they don't like it.
EA!
Well, I mean, yeah, you are pouring your lifeblood into this thing, but...
Yeah, I guess you could say that, yeah, that makes sense.
But I know there are devs that... I mean, I know they want to do so much with other things, and they really want to come up with something great, and it doesn't always come out because of maybe a publisher or something, but a lot of them, if they have that freedom, you can just see it like just pushed out into the open, and how much they love what they're doing.
Naughty Dog.
I think you see that more with indie games than the bigger name producers.
No, it's even in bigger name stuff, but that's where there's a lot more controlled into it. And it makes it harder to tell.
When BioWare was good, you could tell that they really enjoyed what they were doing, especially with Knights of the Old Republic and the first Mass Effect, because they weren't.
And Bethesda, I know there was that whole explosion over Skyrim, but there's a reason for that. They loved doing that.
I don't know anything about Skyrim at all. I'm like, oh. That's a game people play. A lot of people play, and that is all I know.
I tried to get into it, and I didn't really get into it until later on. It kind of started out slow for me. I had played Oblivion on the PS3, which was a horrible port, and then I just stopped playing it because I'd get irritated. Like, every time I would be in this forest or something pretty... It was like after the first Oblivion gate, there was a hacker glitch or something in the game, because every time I would walk up, a guard would stop me and say, hey, you stole that, and it's like, what did I steal? And then there were even multiple times where I just dropped everything down to my character's underwear, and he would still say, oh, well, you stole that. And it's like, what did I steal?
You, you might have picked something up, in a town or something. But yeah, it sounds like a glitch.
That's what I was thinking, and since the Oblivion, I heard, was supposed to be Xbox only, and it was ported to PS3, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't really give a crap about the PS3 port.
The only major game I could think of that I've played that had major glitches is Bugdom, which is, I believe, a free-to-play game that would go on. That was like on all of the early iMacs. Now, Bugdom, you're playing one of those roly-poly bugs, like Potato Bug, and you're trying to rescue this this ladybug from these evil giant bugs, like a slug, and then there's like 10 levels, and the final level there's like a hornet's nest. If you actually rubbed up against the walls, you could go through the walls, and then you could go to the very end of the level through this weird landscape. It was really hilarious.
I have never played this Bugdom. I would try it, though.
Yeah, that seems interesting.
So, Legend of Zelda. Let's bring up one that everyone knows.
I was just about to say, and your little icon, that's you in a Zelda shirt, and I just got jealous.
Yeah, you'd think everyone would know it. I honestly, I played it for like 10 minutes. Like, I played a Game Boy version of it and got kind of tired or whatever, but from what I hear, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread!
It's just how I live my life. Just
bread.
passionately playing guitar and Zelda shirts.
I'm a massive nerd.
I know how to play Zelda on the piano.
Hey, me too.
I know how to play, like, Ocarina songs on the piano. I picked them out by ear.
Yeah, Ocarina has a lot of the more simple songs.
I have the sheet music too.
Yeah.
Hit me up, whatever.
The one that I'm trying to get is the ending theme to Oracle of Ages and Seasons, which is really just the general theme, but just like heightened up and like, you win, you did such a great job, and it's just more complex.
I actually can't read music. A lot of the instruments I play, I've learned myself.
From somebody who's a music composition major, you don't have to know how to read music. I mean, it's nice and whatever, but that's for like appreciating old music. As long as you got something that sounds totally dope, totally rad, then all's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to know all that stuff, but you don't really need to. Most of the Zelda songs I know on piano I learned by ear, like the Water Temple. Or the Water song.
Water Temple.
Everyone hates Water Dungeons.
My favorite Zelda game, though, is definitely Wind Waker. But...
I never got to play it because I could never afford a GameCube, but I love Wind Waker also.
Wind Waker is like my favorite Zelda game. It's just so good. The soundtrack, the way it plays. Oh my god.
The soundtrack is wonderful. I love it. I'm one of those terrible people that watches a lot of Let's Plays because I can't afford games.
Watch the Game Grumps play Wind Waker.
I don't like Game Grumps. I watched In the Littlewood play it, and then I didn't watch him anymore again because I kind of find him a little annoying. Oh. I don't know. I just stopped liking him. But his playthrough of it was great, and I've watched a lot of speedruns of it, and those are hysterical. And I'm also one of those weird people that just loved Twilight Princess. And people are like, well, I don't like it because it was trying to be dark, but it ended up being black, and I'm like, but that's why I loved it. Well, because it just threw dark and scary and stuff right at you like it's supposed to.
The wolf controls are a little weird, to be honest.
I do agree. They are weird.
I think We could pull some real furry jokes on this. The only like.
Now, wait, I think I remember seeing something about Link turning into a wolf on one of the games. Now, is that in every game?
No, that's Twilight Princess. That's the one we're talking about. You get to turn into a wolf, and it feels fun, even though his controls feel a bit wonky.
Yeah, and there's the wolf Link, whatever. I mean, I've seen pictures of it. I'm like, oh boy, wolf Link, yay!
Rule 34. So.
That's
God, somebody said. I knew someone said that. Somebody had to say that.
The dark rule.
That's the dark world.
Next topic. This one I pulled out of my butt. Ukraine. On the subject.
How did you fit the whole country of Ukraine in your butt?
I don't know.
And did you at least wipe it off first?
It really hurt. But the reason why I put this topic up, it's pretty cray-cray. I mean, like...
Yeah.
It seems like the standard thing random foreign countries do are like, okay, you know what? You guys shouldn't be protesting because we're awesome. We're going to kill you all. And it's like, wow, how come all the countries are getting this idea, but I think ours is just protected because of that damn lousy constitution.
I mean, I've looked into some of it. I haven't looked into it enough to really say I know a lot about it, but it is crazy what's going on over there.
I've been reading a bit about it, and what I guess is happening is a lot of people are protesting the I want to say in a broad general statement the government, because I haven't seen like what exactly their grievances are with the government over there.
I mean, it seems like the only shocking thing is, I mean, like, I think we're all totally, like, bored of the whole, like, hearing the story of the Arab Spring, like, oh, people protest, the government kills 3 billion people, and then suddenly, oh, the government changes, yay, happily ever after. But now it's in a Slavic, or now it's in one of the Russian countries, and now it's like, wait a minute, this particular culture didn't do this. I wouldn't be surprised if it was an Arab country. What do you think?
I really don't know, honestly. Well, it's just like, aren't they revolting against socialism in their own country? Sort of thing?
Maybe.
What I read is...
I've read bare minimum on it. Please don't kill me, but I've been on Reddit going through articles occasionally, and it's not really...
So you read it on Reddit?
Yeah, I read it on Reddit.
Right.
I read about it on Reddit. And I've just read about, like, that there's a lot of violence between police and protesters, and that actually recently a lot of the protesters captured some 70 some odd policemen, and they're holding them hostage or something. It's really, really murky because I haven't really read it.
But I guess, I mean, in a way, we're all tired of hearing this whole story, because this story of some sort of country with people rebelling and then doing some sort of big riot and then people whatever, that seems to happen every year, like probably every month, and every year it's in a new country, so it's kind of like history is repeating itself. But
this time it feels different. Like, these people are truly at their limit's end for whatever reason it is. I've heard multiples. Like, what I read was, along with, I'm sure, anything else, their government was taking a lot of money and putting it in Western investments and banks and properties, so the money couldn't be taken back anywhere, and just using their power for pretty much evil, and that they're fighting for pretty much like a lot of the rights that we in America have. They want to be their own thing, but I've been told a lot of other things. So,
you think they're going to make a Hollywood movie on it?
Probably, knowing Hollywood. If all else comes for the better, I guarantee there will be a movie.
So, on the subject of entertainment, oh yeah, Cody, we're going to have your topic. So, Kit, Kobu, Thaddius, do you remember there's some furry that was on Tosh.0 a little while back?
Oh, yes, yeah, I saw that when you, spoke about him in a podcast. I looked up the video and I laughed. That was pretty funny. Good job.
I saw the video once. I saw like 2 seconds. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna watch this. I feel way too embarrassed for this child. Like,
Do you remember the name of the person on the Tosh.0 show?
Yeah, I looked it up a week ago.
I'll give you a clue. It is Cody the Fox.
Silly foxes.
Yep, Cody the Fox in this chat.
oh, he appeared on TV.
No, he's in this Skype call right now. It is him.
Oh,
Oh yeah, he did appear on TV. He was on Tosh.0 because of his little rage video.
yeah,
Years back.
I saw that. I saw the video. I saw like 2 seconds of it. I was like, I feel embarrassed for him. I was like,
Yeah, I
felt
saw the
bad.
video with the Tosh.0 bit. It was kind of funny because I can actually relate. I used to be kind of like that, but I was never going to put that thing on YouTube.
Honestly, we have to ask ourselves who wasn't like that, because I think we were all.
Right?
So, but isn't it cool that I got him in this call? I got him in this podcast.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yay! Cool, thanks.
Pretty cool.
Yay.
Yay, I'm cool.
You're cool. Give yourself a big pat in the back. But yeah, I guess Cody, tell us about like the effect, like not the build up to it, but what's come of it. You know.
Well, I guess I've kind of been more social in the furry fandom, even though with some of the stuff I've seen, even though it's not really been bad, but there's been mixtures of different kind of response, like, oh my god, you're funny, oh my god, what the fuck did you just do, why'd you do that, fuck you, you suck, blah blah blah, you did it for money, you did it for fame. It's like, no, I didn't. I did it because it's been one of my dreams to make people laugh, and doing that on a national scale was like, door opened, and I wasn't about to let that door shut. And then a lot of people have been saying with the money thing, and I shouldn't have done the skit, it's like, I don't really want to give totals because I don't want to seem like an asshole or however people would take that, but they paid me
Over
just to go there.
9,000.
It's over
9,000. No.
But they paid for a hotel, they paid me to sleep in that hotel, they paid me to come out, and originally they only wanted me, but since it was my first time flying, I begged for them to allow my mom to come with me. So she did, and it's like, and they didn't have any time to prepare. It's like, seriously, we got to the studio, and then it's like, boom, we're doing this. And it's like, okay. And they had already done a lot for me, so I wasn't about to say, well, fuck this, I'm not doing it, change it right fucking now.
All right.
Yeah, I've actually been wondering how they do that whole process of getting people there.
Or even just finding you in the first place. Like, they've got to have some scouts that are just scouring the internet going, okay, which would be funny on the show? Oh, look at this video. We're going to contact this guy.
Or like, I think going through a lot of bad videos would probably be the worst. How many bad ones they have to go through, to be honest. Like,
But that's got to be kind of fun.
Britney alone!
yeah, sifting
you're
through all that
paid-
content would be terrible.
But still, you're paid money to go surf YouTube? I mean, maybe they have volunteers, but that's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. I gotta ask you, Cody, how was Daniel Tosh to meet? Like, was he a cool guy, or was he just a dick, or?
I don't know if this will damage his reputation, but he is nothing like he is on TV. He's actually really cool and laid back.
Yeah,
I
I figured he would.
I figured he was just kind of a chill guy. I was just curious, because, like, that's really cool if you got to meet him. I think he's funny as hell, but...
I mean, the first time I saw him, I was like, okay, I could tell he's reading a teleprompter. He's got to do some Obama-esque thing where he doesn't know that where he acts like there's no teleprompter there. I feel like that would help his act, but that's just my opinion. I'm really critical of comedians.
But yeah, he was really cool. Like, even before going out, I was saying to everybody, and apparently I shouldn't have. I didn't know about confidentiality and hush, 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 don't say anything. But I was, like, telling all my closest friends, and one of my friends, Mikey, he actually lives, like, maybe 3 blocks from me, and he's like, oh my god, you lucky son of a bitch, Tosh is one of my idols. And when I got there, the first thing I actually asked him behind the scenes is, hey, can you sign something for a friend of mine? His name is Mikey, and is just hit Mikey's face. As soon as I brought the autograph to him, it just made my day seeing his face light up.
Aw, how cute.
That's awesome.
That's really nice of you. That's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think he's pretty funny, and I knew right off the bat from his stand-up and his show that he's just a pretty chill guy otherwise.
He's not Carlos Mencia, so that's the best part about him.
Oh, right?
Yep.
Carlos
anyone-
Mencia is...
So
I
that
think
little
anyone who's
furry...
not Carlos Mencia.
Carlos is furry in a bad way.
Oh.
I mean,
So that
He's
little...
like evil Saib of the comedian world.
pretty much.
Oh, look at me. Oh, that... No. Oh, look at me. I put a Spanish accent on something. I'm so funny. It's a joke everyone's heard.
I'm actually
Right.
a really huge fan of Louis C.K. I think he is one of the funniest people.
I saw about 20 minutes of some routine and I didn't laugh at all. I just don't get his appeal at all. I've just never laughed at him.
He's so cynical that really funny
Louis
asshole.
C.K.
basically.
is okay. But I actually got to meet another one of my comedy favorites, like, in October, we actually went to see Gabriel Iglesias.
Yes.
He was in Ames.
Oh, I
And,
love him.
We went up to the counter where they were selling the stuff, and they said, "Oh, do you want to spend $50? You can get 2 VIP passes." And I'm like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!" And I ran to the stage and I begged my grandmother, because I had already spent all my money from Tosh on PlayStation 4 and games, so I was strapped. And I'm like, I need to meet this guy. And even though I felt kind of bad at the end because I can't think of his name, but he was in I seriously can't remember him. I'm sorry. But he was in the Aloha Fluffy tour. Like, he was the extra.
Yeah,
Like the extra stuff. And they were saying, okay, he cannot sign anything but the action figures. And I'm like, oh shit. And then I was actually about ready to hand him my CD before they said this, and then I started taking it back, and then he grabs it, pulls it out, and signs it anyway, and I'm like, oh my god, awesome. But then the guy, he was just glaring at me, and I'm a very self-conscious person, and as soon as I saw him glare, I'm like, oh my god, I'm the worst piece of scum on this fucking earth.
I'd have felt that way too. Oh, there goes Kobu.
Yeah, Kobu's been AFK for a while.
So I do have to ask, the furry skit on that episode, what was that like? Because I have a feeling I wouldn't be able to keep a straight face.
Well, my head was covered, so I was doing my best. Mostly at the time, I wasn't thinking, ha ha ha, oh my god, even though behind the camera, when they were doing that slow motion across where everybody's just fucking each other,
Yeah.
I was actually just face palming and trying my hardest not to laugh. But
Yeah, I have a feeling I'd have just lost my shit. That would be too much for me.
I came pretty close, but I was in the head a lot of the time.
Yeah, that does help.
Yeah, and then they put the Mardi Gras mask on me, so I had zero visibility. Tosh, you can even see him in one scene where he's grabbing for me to turn this way, and because he was my guide, if it wasn't for him, I would have been like, where am I looking here?
I mean, I like the whole premise of the skit where it's all, oh yeah, of course celebrities, they do this all the time, this is normal.
Yeah. And then it's
cute.
just the most over-the-top fursuit thing, and I lost it when I saw that.
He made the chicken cluck.
Yeah.
I mean, and for me, I was even a little jelly, because, I mean, my whole career is all about being an extra and wanting to get a bit more camera time, even though that I have no lines, and boom, you got a principal role right there. And on a comedy show, too. Not bad.
Comedy Central.
Comedy Central is, I'd say it's my favorite channel because it has most of the funny stuff. I mean, Spike has a lot of great stuff, too, but they had a lot of really funny shows through the years. I mean, especially I like their older comedies like The Critic or Dr. Katz.
I Miss Strangers with Candy.
Yes.
I got into that way after it was canceled, and I'm just like, oh my god, this show is amazing.
Yeah, I love that, and then I liked The Daily Show when in the earlier years when they actually had Stephen Colbert and Steve Carell and all the people who are now big movie stars, Ed Helms. When they were on the show, they were incredible. Daily Show's become the new SNL, really, because they graduate people and then they become giant movie stars.
Or just get their own show, like it's Colbert.
Yeah, good shit.
You kind of made their own competition, though. I mean, I like Jon Stewart and all, but I would rather watch Colbert any day.
Yeah.
I like watching both of them with their whole back-to-back slots because they're a big contrast, and it just makes both of them even funnier.
I got, because I'm in New York City, I got to see them both live, and I got to say, Colbert, his energy, it explodes off the stage. Like, you've never seen anyone more energetic in your life until you've seen him.
I actually remember you saying that, and I'm just sitting here like, ah!
And the sad thing is, it's actually really easy to get tickets. You just freaking upload this one webpage a bunch, and then it's a free ticket, and you just sign up for it. It's like so freaking easy. You just put it in your freaking bookmarks, make it your homepage, and get a ticket. It's easy. It's like so easy.
Dr. Phil Morey, free ticket.
Never. I'm never going to Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil could get sick.
I'm an electrician.
It's called
Oh, that was funny. I'm not even a psychiatrist, I'm an electrician.
Let's see, we got about 3 minutes left, so I want to just ask Cody, how did they find you exactly? Like, did some guy just message you on YouTube and it just started from there?
No, somehow they had found my Facebook, and I don't know how because I had it set to private, and I had just found this out actually a few days ago. There's another inbox on Facebook where, like, people that aren't your friends can send you messages, and this guy, the first guy, had messaged me in January, and then the producer of the show, Jeff, and I'm still friends with him, he's still on my Facebook, but he had gotten through that somehow, and 2 months later, he had messaged me in March and said, oh, hey, do you want to be in the show? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, this is a trick. I'm a fat kid, and they're trying to pull shit over on me. And I had ended up calling him the next day, and everybody in my family was still like, okay, this does not happen in our family. This is bullshit. Someone's pulling your leg. So then he started saying, well, we can set up stuff. And then as soon as I saw the transcripts for the plane rides, I'm like, okay, if this is a joke, they're really going to high links. And to be honest, I still actually thought it was a joke, even when we were in the studio, until I heard Tosh go, Cody? I was just like, okay, this is all a joke before I heard him say that. And
that's great. Cody?
Seems like it's a pretty surreal experience.
Yeah, it was hard to believe.
And now it's like, in the aftermath, like, I mean, I know all the furs that have had, like, some sort of media appearances have been just crucified. Like, the whole Tyra Banks thing, I mean, that lady, like, there was a whole drama on FA, and then she threatened to sue it, so they banned her from the site, and it all had, like, almost every fur that's been on TV has had, like, a terrible falling out with the fandom, but you changed the trend somehow.
Well, I don't really see myself as changing it. There was on My Strange Addiction, and I actually talked to her for a while. I haven't talked to her for a long time though, but I can't even think of her name. I feel like crap for that, but she didn't get as much hate as I thought. I mean, she did back off of Fur Affinity, but I think there was a lot more love than hate, because her page, I remember this back when it aired, I had gotten on looking for her, and her whole page was just, we love you, don't listen to those idiots, blah, blah, blah. And so I think she's the real one that changed it.
I never saw the Strange Addictions one. You'll have to maybe link it to me later, or if it's on YouTube, I don't know.
It might be on YouTube.
I think part of the reason with with people shunning anyone who's had media attention is because maybe they, like, because, like, the shows who have done it, from what I've heard, like, they misrepresent what the person was trying to say anyway, a lot of the time. Like, for instance, I guess there was a documentary and it really misrepresented what this is all about and stuff. Like, it always portrays it to be, like, the darker side, like the sexual side of it, and it's like, no, that's really not what it's all about and shit. But
And see,
I don't know.
It's always
That's
the
why-
dark stuff that comes up. It's
But, like, the media its misrepresentation, though, is really what brings up a lot of the stigma with it.
I thought you were going to say, oh, they're peanut butter and jelly, because they don't, who doesn't want to be in TV? TV's fun. The attention in the world, or maybe that's just part of my psychology.
Well, you're the one that's in all these movies.
Yeah, I'm kind of an attention whore, I agree. It's true.
I just want to make music and have fun.
Yeah, but if
I
there's
go-
no one to listen to it, it's like, come on, look at my music, it's so cool, yay!
Yes,
I have no
but
problem self-promoting if I have to.
I mean, if you just make something and you post it and like even one person likes it, it does feel good.
Yeah, I mean, because you know that you made something that someone at least enjoyed.
Yes.
But yeah, it's been an hour, so I want to thank everybody who's been a part of the podcast. Kobu actually had some sort of sickness, so he was under the weather, so he had to leave the call. And yeah, there we go.
Yep, there's the link.
Thank you, Kobu, Kit, Thaddius, Cody, for being in the chat, and thank you.
Thanks for having me on.
Certainly, it was very fun. That is the first greatest podcast in the world.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you for joining, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, everyone.